Are the tides turning for the home and condo market here on Oahu? This is David Buck with Harcourts Island Real Estate. And today we're going to talk about the local market update for June of 2026. So my question is, are the tides turning? Well, I've been talking about for the last 3 years how bad our condo market's been, and it might be turning a corner. Not just that, it maybe our single family home market is turning down. So let's dive into the data for June and see which neighborhoods were hot and which were not. And first off, as far as single family home sales go, Makiki to Mo'iliili saw the largest increase in single family home sales. That was up 120%, going from 5 transactions a year ago to 11 this past month. That was by far the highest increase. And then of the 21 major neighborhoods that the Honolulu Board of Realtors reports on, sales were down in actually 13 of those neighborhoods. The majority of the neighborhoods saw a drop in home sales, and then 3 neighborhoods were flat, and an additional only 5 neighborhoods were up. So that compounded on the trend that I talked about earlier in the month for the overall Oahu market, where we saw home sales on the island down 6.6%. So next category we're going to talk about is which neighborhood on Oahu saw the largest home appreciation. Honolulu to Salt Lake saw the largest appreciation year over year. That was up 33%. That was going from $1 million a year ago to $1,325,000 this past month. You might ask yourself, how come it wasn't 32.5%? Well, I guess the Board of Realtors rounds up. So it's a 33% increase. Now let's dive into the condos. So Waialae Kahala saw the largest increase in condo sales year over year. And this building I've got here is the Regency at Kahala, which is right next door to our office. And I figured since we just had the 4th of July a few weeks back, we'll stick with that theme of the American flag here on a 250th anniversary of our nation. So with that said, Waialae Kahala, so the largest increase was up 250%. A little foreshadowing there. 250 years, 250%. A year ago, there were only 2 condos that sold in Waialae Kahala, and this past month we saw 7. And on top of that, we saw 3 neighborhoods on Oahu that saw an increase of more than doubling the number of sales from the previous month. And unlike the single family homes we just talked about, the sales were up in the majority of the 21 neighborhoods for condos on Oahu. Sales were up in 12 neighborhoods. They were flattened 2 and down in only 7, which is contradictory to what I've been talking about the last several years, where the majority of the neighborhoods were down. So it's wonderful to see an increase in condo sales in the majority of the neighborhoods here on Oahu. And next, we're going to talk about our final category, which is condo appreciation here on Oahu. So Kapahulu to Diamond Head had the largest increase in condo appreciation on Oahu, which was up 51%. A year ago, the sales price for a condo was at $390,000, and this past month was up at $589,000. Now, the majority of those sales most likely took place in Kapahulu or perhaps leasehold condos in Diamond Head a year ago, because it's not that often you'll see a condo in Diamond Head under $400,000. Even a year ago, they weren't trading for that for fee simple condos in Diamond Head. So to be under $400,000 at $390,000 a year ago, it was probably one of those 2 scenarios, like I mentioned, either more condo sales taking place in Kapahulu, which is a lower price point, or leasehold condos in Diamond Head, such as a Diamond Head Beach Hotel. If you have questions about that, I'll post a link here, or Sans Souci, perhaps maybe a studio at Sans Souci. So that's a wrap for the local market update for June. And if you have more specific questions about neighborhoods or condo complexes here on Oahu, I'm David Buck with Harcourts Island Real Estate, and I can be reached at 808-371-3509. Mahalo.